dear political friends in this part of the world, Rod Donald. And so we decided as a council that we would create a trust in his honour, and that we would acknowledge the importance of the environmental movement in his life by creating a trust on Banks Peninsula. And so the council decided to create this trust, and here we are today. I'd like the original trustees to stand up. Who's here?
Some of us can't.
Come on. Give Rosemary, loan her your Zimmer frame, will you please? So there's Stuart, Claudia, Nicola, Stuart, and Simon. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to especially acknowledge Nicola as Ron's partner. So we set out to create a trust, and the most important thing was that the City Council couldn't control it, which I felt was essential. The second thing was that we had to find somebody to run the trust. And so we sent Nicola and Stuart off, I think. We said, find someone in this part of the world, and it was really important that we tapped into them, and that was the role of the trust. And another person who had assisted my thinking on the trust was Harry L. And Harry L had this, thank goodness for all socialists, he had this dream of 17 resting places between Christchurch and Akaroa, where people could walk and stay for free. And his principles are one of the important principles driving this trust. So that when we did the first hut for 100 years, we were continuing that dream of a man who died 100 years before. And so this trust is deeply steeped in history. It's deeply steeped in a philosophy of environmentalism and place, and it's deeply steeped in a commitment to engage people. And that's what this trust is about, and that's what we're about today, and the fact that it's a local group doing our catering continues that catering. So that's why the trust got going, and they're like, thank you.
Very much indeed, Gary. It's been a real privilege actually to work first for Gary and the board, the original board, and then as the trustees have changed over to work for Simon, our second chair of the Rod Donald Banks Peninsula Trust. So we've got a handover at this point in time. Simon is having to retire because the deed, Simon, did you write that deed at the beginning? Yes, that deed contains a clause saying that trustees can only serve a maximum of 9 years. And Simon's done his 9 years now, which is why he's very sadly stepping down from the trust. But one of the things we're really pleased about is that we've been able to go through as trustees who've stepped up off the board, recruiting new people. And a couple of years ago, Maureen McCoy joined our board, and Maureen's been acting as our deputy chair in this past year, as we all knew that Simon would have to step down at this point. So I'd like to hand over to Maureen now.
Hey, welcome, and thank you, Simon. Just want to talk a little bit about where we're at now, and give thanks to Simon. So the trustees, today's trustees who are here, Paul and Cynthia and Simon and Andrew and myself. So if you would like to stand up so you can see who the current trustees are. We have Brian and Bob and Richard who are not able to be here, but they send their best wishes to you, Simon, and they certainly would have been here if they could have. Just want to talk a little bit about Simon. One of the things I love about working with you is that you remember where we've come from. Because you were with the Trust right from its inception, you understand why we're here, which is what Gary's just talked about. And I think that really grounds us, and it helps us with our evolution towards the future. The other thing that you're really cool about is that you're very present. You're very present in what we're doing today. Always bring a lot of energy to the trust, and you're really clear about why we're here, and we have our 4 pillars that you keep reminding us about, and make sure that we don't steer off from that. And then thirdly, the thing that I think that you're really good about is the vision for the future. So bringing us from the past through the present and thinking about where we're going. And you were the one that said, we need to think about where we're going to be in 5 or 10 years' time. We have all these things that we want to do, but what is the trust going to look like? And you were the one that said, right, we need to get stuck into this. And you jazzed us all up, and you've got us working on the pathway, I think, to the ongoing future of the trust. And one of the things that I really like about how you've done that is with fantastic humour, and especially when you took 4 of us along at once. That's incredible. That must have been quite a change for the trust to suddenly have these 4 new people, and Paul was one of them, that we rocked up and we went, how does this all work? Why are we doing this like this? What does this all mean? And with good humour that you answered all our questions and helped us get in the groove, and I hope that we've added the value to the trust that you hoped. So I guess I would add to that, you've got courage for wanting to put 4 new people on the trust at once. So thank you, Simon. Really appreciate everything that you've done for us. Peninsula is a better place because of your energy and your effort, and I certainly applaud you for that. So best wishes.
I've heard a lot about the role of Peninsula Trust, other trusts I'm involved with, and Gary knows because both Anne and he and I are another trust. And I always use the Roswell Trust as one as an example of what is good practice, what's good.
And Simon, this has got your address on in case you lose it.
Oh, good.
It's handy, isn't it? So this is a gift for you from the trust, and I know that you really appreciate what we've done for you. So best wishes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not sure that I should open thank you so much. I really appreciate that. More about that later. Thank you so much. That's the Governors Bay Genetic Planning. So I really appreciate that. Grand, slow pause. Basically, first of all, thank you, Maureen, and thank you, Gary, for your kind words and about the history of the trust. I think it's such a startling story because it started in such an auspicious way. I mean, Gary calling us into the office, the mayor, and saying you've got an idea going forward, and you're incredibly. I think personally you're incredibly brave in putting it forward because I'm sure I've got the support of councillors at the end of the day, but I don't necessarily know whether the finance people would have thought it was a good idea. And I don't necessarily think it was a good idea from the chief executive's point of view at that time. But the reality was that it served its purpose. It set up a trust which has gone miles. It's gone 10 years, and I agree. It's the next 10 years is going to really where it counts, where it's going to cement in place its place in history. Thanks for the Genetic Restoration, Governors Bay Genetic Restoration Trust for the lovely food and putting it all together, and Sue and Suki, of course, for putting us all together. I actually expected about 5 of you here today, and we'd have a quiet lunch and get on with it. But the point is that the Genetic Restoration Trust is, I'll talk a little bit more about them later because they're very close to my heart, and I know that we've got a job to do and we'll get it done. And so finally, I'd like to say thanks for giving up your Sunday for this event. And I think it's not a time to celebrate my passing of the word, but that's what it sounds good. It's really time to celebrate where we're going, where we've been, and I think it's such a great future we've got planned out for you. 10 years ago, Gary started it all up, and for that we're eternally grateful. The vision. The vision to me is really critical in developing a culture where you want to go. To me, and I think for Gary, it was about the young people of our city and the families and how they could go to the Peninsula and find a place where they could really enjoy nature and they could learn about their city, they could learn about their people and learn about their history. So that vision has stayed with us ever since, and it was referred to then in access, the concept of access. And over the years since then, we've developed more understanding of what we're trying to achieve and how we're going to get there. And that was, first of all, we looked at partnership. And we'll talk a little bit about that shortly. Access was obviously on the play. Biodiversity was a big one. I think it was really gave us a sense of maturity about what we wanted to achieve in this peninsula. In fact, it rounded up. It was the combination of really what it was all about was biodiversity, and that was, it became, I had never thought of it, but it really came to our vision. And then also about knowledge. Again, if you're going to have young people involved in this growth in our city and this place, their knowledge is important to develop, their understanding of this place and learn from it. And so those four: access, knowledge, biodiversity, and partnership. Partnership, the classic example of partnership was with Doc. Doc, official, it was Rob, was Andy, came to that meeting at our place? Andy Roberts? Anyway, Andy came to the meeting, I think it was one of the Doc officers came to the meeting. It was towards the end of their financial year, and I asked a silly question was, how much money have you got left in your allocation for this year which you haven't spent? And he said $25,000. And I said, okay, we'll match you $25,000, we'll spend it right now for the end of the financial year and put it into a separate account. And we did, and that is the beginning of an amazing relationship, and I think it's one of the most important relationships we've got with Doc. I think Suki coming on board was really for me a critical moment, because she played a huge role, as Gary rightly said, in this trust. The one who always gets quite emotional when he thinks about Suki, because she is such a driving force behind it. And I think the thing about Suki is that a CCO is an amazing beast. It's not unlike other trusts. It is basically, you've got the rules of the council in terms of reporting, processing, and responsibility sheeted home to you through the CCO structure, and it requires a huge amount of documentation, a huge amount of effort to keep all the reporting based, dogs at bay. And she's done that amazingly well. And I think it's a sense of maturity, a sense of discipline, and a sense of communication, which has really stood us involved in the step. A lot of people would not have been able to go. Having said that, she then delivered on the operations. She's delivered on actually getting the job done. So it's an amazing skill set for doing things as well as reporting on things in a very comprehensive way. I can't think of any other organisation I've been involved with over 50 years of practice law that has been so well documented as this. And in some ways it's almost overdone, but it's got to be done. It's done. The people. Obviously Sue's been a great help to Suki coming on now, providing administration support, and the Walking Festival every year. But that's a really good example of how you get things done in this peninsula. Pick someone like Suki and Sue to get the job done. Then of course the trustees. They've played a huge role in this trust. They've all got their skill sets, they're all quite different and really interesting ones. Their experiences that they bring from life and from their schools, and also they give their time free. And it's amazing, the last time we got those excellent 4 trustees, I mean, they are the creme de la creme. Those people who others have tried to get the job, but they were lining up to get the job. And we selected these 4 because they were the best, and they are delivering on that promise. So they're special people. The partners of this place, of this organisation, it is just not about trustees, it's not about Suki and Sue. It's about the people that we work with. And obviously you've got people like David Brailsford, who's a huge, when we took on the governance, I'll getting back to that later, the Rod Donald Trust Hub, David has stepped up to the mark and did an amazing job. Now he is a central core to our building program on the peninsula. Then we've got others, we've got Stefan, Rosalind and Stu, these are our team, our contractors who do the physical work and the documentation. Then of course, as I said, we've got the partners, and we've got Doc, and we've got council, and Andrew Turner. What a great job he's done. I'll tell you what, vote for him at the next election. I say that advising because I know he's got the punishment help. It's driving things. Cynthia from Environment Canberra, again, a huge opportunity with having her on the board, and as well as ECAN, a great contribution. Then Auden Brandy, we've got Ian signing in today, and again, we've seen that organisation grow over the last 10 years with us, and I think they've got a huge future. In fact, I think they're the entry point to to Te Paraka, which is the cornerstone of our program. So, no, Ian and Simon, you've done a great job. Obviously, Hill and Mike, Hugh Wilson, he can't be here today, but my God, what a man. The New Zealand Native Forest Trust, did they get their way? And other funders we work with in buying properties. The Joseph Langer Trust, we've got Robin and Joe here today, and again, Robin and Joe have done a huge job over at the Bonds Bay, and which I'm proud to be a trustee of that trust. And the Farmer Community Living Springs, Dennis, again former trustee of the Governors Bay Jetty Restoration Trust, again a very important part they play in the life of the trust. And he's just involved, as you know, in supporting the head-to-head walkway in a very meaningful way by providing access through that property and through Teddington. So with our partners, our contractors, our trustees, and our singularly brilliant manager and support, we do a great job, I think. What are the achievements? Well, when I think of the achievements, how much have we got in the bank? Don't tell me too. Am I allowed to say this in this report?
Yeah.
It's public knowledge. 2
It's going out in our annual accounts in a few weeks.
2 point how much?
About, well, they're just doing the workshop now, so let's say about 2.1, I'd say.
Yeah, 2.1. Just think about this. We started with how much, Gary?
3.3, 3.5.
Well, with the interest.
How much we spent? 1.2 in my calculation, 1.3, 1.4. We've acquired 7 properties of singular importance to this peninsula. We've got, Saddle Hill, we've got the Bonds Bay property, we've got Misty Peak, is it? And we've got, where else have we got? Wood Hills, anyway, they roll off. And then we've just got below Autumn Bradley, Mount Bradley. So 7 properties, and I hate to think that they would be worth the value, but then we've got Rod on Hut and the land that's surrounding that. So just in hardcore real estate, we've done very, very well, I think. Now, in terms of the tracks we've created and built and re-established, well, the classic one was the up at Hilltop, where they had difficulty in doing the work, Doc had difficulty doing the work, because even if we did it, for them to pay for it, because they'd have to depreciate it. So Suki, I think, came up with a brilliant idea. We'll do it in stone on the site, so we don't have to then worry about depreciating it. Doc accepted the stone version as opposed to wood. What else we all I think of, not the walking tracks, we've got signage, brochures, website, walking festival, book publications. We've supported 2 publications, I think, haven't we, at least. Hugh Wilson's book, and then there was the Head of the Harbour book. And financial support by the way, one important trust I've missed, I'm sorry, my apologies, and that's the Banks Peninsula Conservation Trust. Huge opportunity here. And we regard ourselves, that trust, as the singular voice of conservation on the peninsula. We may go together to biodiversity. We're just a midget, we're a minor player compared to what that trust plays in its role. And essentially, we're working in tandem with that particular trust. They are true partners. And sorry, Mark, my apologies. That certainly should never be forgotten. But we provide financial support to them of Small Nature and Autumn Bradley and others. And this we'll talk now about, because I want to get on to it before I close, about the jetty. The first 10 grand that came across the table on that was from this trust, basically as a kickstart fund to get this show on the road. 10 grand. It was a huge amount of money, and it helped us start this process. So that's what I'm going to do going forward. Is we're launching. We've been working on the Jetty Trust, just for example, for 4.5 years. Every Tuesday, nearly every Tuesday, and some weekends we spend time on Jetty. We could have built it without energy.
And Simon certainly has shown himself to be an amazing leader for us on the Rod Donald Trust, and in other work that Simon has done. And as Simon has said, we're going to see the Governors Bay Jetty project really get legs in the next period, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that succeed. But Simon, on behalf of all of us, thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you for everything I know you'll continue to do. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And you can see all of the energy and people that you've gathered in as part of this work, and everybody's contributed to it. And of all the trusts that I've been on over the years, this is the one that gets stuff done. And I often sing the praises of being on this trust, because it does really tap into the energy of the community really well. And so I want to thank those forebears before who have laid down the foundations to make it such a successful trust, and we hope that into the future, as Simon said, that we are going to continue to make a contribution to access for Banks Peninsula. But as an ecologist, for me, it's the biodiversity wing I too am very passionate about, and all that work that we've done on getting background information, on encouraging people to enter the carbon trading scheme by restoring Indigenous biodiversity on the Banks Peninsula, and the work that the Banks Peninsula Conservation Trust in terms of thinking of great tranches of land on the Banks Peninsula that we can contribute to this amazing community and a wonderful place to live and play. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The trust was established to do a lot of really, really, really good work, but it also had an end name stuck on top of that. And I would just like to say thank you that is always close to people's hearts. I mean, you may think this is a bit odd, but actually thinking about it most part, almost excited by it, is that having done all of that, there's still lots of money within. Because the vast of the other things he was, he's actually really quite a person. Pragmatic he was well, so he may well have been proud of all of that, but no,
I said it actually for Rob. I knew
that.
And
just for the kids and for Rob's dad, so I'm very, very grateful for that.
Thank you.